And Wesley says, Mehran, do you think everything in life happens for a reason, or is it just the coward version to segregate his problem? Oh, it's not coward version, and definitely, of course, many things happen out of your control for the same reason that you were not in control when you were born on this earth. How could you then think that everything is all because of you make it happen? Were you making your birth happen? Were you making your mom and dad actually? Do you have anything to do with them meeting or them actually enjoying each other, being intimate, and then producing you? Did you have anything to do with that? It didn't. It happened for the outside sources, whether because of your parents or whether the design of it, however it was, you had nothing to do with it. So if something can happen to you without you having anything to do with it, then other things can also be happening for the reasons that's beyond you. I believe that. There is a certain kind of an energy, entity, and not in a way that we think, but there is an intelligence of some kind that energy flows through. All these laws of physics and quantum mechanics and all these other things, they have a law, they have a way, a pattern, the way they are put together to function and act and react. So where does that intelligence come from? I don't know, but there is an intelligence, a system of some kind, right? Therefore, things happen without you directly being involved, as it happens in science, but you have nothing to do with it. So if you can see that things that are happening for the reasons that we just talked about, that they have their own system and wisdom and intelligence and the way they are just being designed, their function, and therefore they bring about the certain things that happens without you having anything to do with it. So therefore, obviously, there is possibilities many other things could happen that you wouldn't have anything to do with it. Often in my life and other people's lives, I have seen that they wanted to stick to something, to keep something going. And no matter how much they tried, it didn't. And sure enough, it broke off. And eventually, later on, years or months later on, they saw, oh my goodness, that's why. If that wouldn't have broken off, I would have never been able to find this island, this beauty, this wonder, this advancement, this contentment, this learning, this lesson, this wisdom, this experience. It just is. So, yes, some things happens for the reasons beyond my understanding. And even if I try to understand them, often it's futile. I won't, because I am not in the dimension to see things the way that it could be seen. I can only see it and understand and feel it the way that I am designed. And until I reach a certain level, maybe I'm limited to only see what's in the dimensions that I am capable of. It's like saying I have this binoculars and I see it and it's, oh wow, everything's so close, everything's so wonderful. And then time of the day passes and becomes nighttime, and same binocular, as strong as it was, I can't see a thing through it. And then I say, well, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. I can't see anything. There's nothing there. Unless I change this binocular to a night vision goggle. Suddenly, things that I couldn't see in that one, it's wow, there's lots of things. There's a fish, there's a whale there, there's people there, there's something happening there, or there's, I don't know, lava is coming, I couldn't see. So, does that mean that they weren't happening? They were happening. I couldn't see it because I didn't have the right apparatus. Now, the same thing I could say in a way that there are things that I can't understand or I can't see or I can't describe or I can't know even if it's there or why things are happening, because that is the dimension that that's the equipment that I am, those are the equipments that I'm equipped with. That's my limitations or my abilities extent of my abilities. But that doesn't mean it's all the abilities or all the equipments I could have in order to see what is really out there. The dimension that I can see things and understand things and negotiate and interact with is the dimension that I'm designed, or I'm at the level that I am. Maybe I can be at a different level. Maybe I could understand a little bit more. Just like when you're in a lower class, you're going through your studies in high school, you can only understand so much, even though there's a lot more sophisticated algebra and calculus and scientific formulas and findings, but I can't comprehend it at the level and the classroom that I am, until I learn this and the next class and next class, and then maybe the stuff that I could not even fathom become clear to me, because I've taken these steps and prepared myself for understanding of this, year 4 of the university in mathematics, which it was always there and it was always true. It was always working the way it should work, but I just weren't in a place to understand it. So therefore I said, no, there is no way, nothing else other than what I understand in this formula exists, because that was my dimension of understanding, my education, my level of understanding. But as the time went and I became more proficient in understanding and learning other courses and other levels of the same subject, then eventually I got to the level of maybe 4th grade or in 4th year in university, where that other version of the formula and things were being taught and I could understand. So the understanding and knowledge is there. I may not be where I could see it or understand it, and it could be right here, but I am limited to my knowledge. Knowledge is always limited. So it'll be foolish to think that what we know is all there is out there, and what we are capable of is all the capabilities, and what we see is only because we see it, or what is there is only because what we see it, and if we don't see it, it's not there. These are all kind of limiting, which in the world that we know so much about now, it's not likely that the knowledge or existence is limited to our version of understanding, our limited way of understanding. So always leave a little bit room for things that might be out there that we could hope to learn, become aware of it someday. I hope that answered your question, Wesley. I know where you're going with it, but I went a little bit further into philosophy of it, but I know you just want to be consoled of the breakup and to attribute what's happened to the unknown reasons for it. With that too is actually possibly correct. Could be part of it for sure.